Hey, good morning to you. This is Walk and Talk 281. Have you ever thought about the difference between stupid and smart, or the fool and the wise? I'm going to show you from the Bible, Proverbs 11:29, the second half, where you will see that stupid serves the wise. Stupid serves the wise. As you live your life every day, you make choices, decisions, this or that. And the Bible says that if you're stupid, if you're foolish, if you make dumb decisions, you will serve or you will obey the smart people, the wise people. In other words, as you live your life, you can be someone who's like the boss, or someone who oversees, or you can be an individual that is employed, or like a servant. So years ago in the Bible, there was a phrase called a dentured servant. Some people were purchased. Some people were kind of like today we refer to them as employees. There was an agreement, and you basically did whatever the boss, whatever someone said, and you were kind of like hired. The hired servant, the hired hand, the hired worker. Well, the Bible says in Proverbs 11:29 that the foolish will be servant to the wise-hearted. So stupid serves the smart, the wise, the knowledgeable. Let me give you some practical observations. You're free in your mind to believe and do pretty much anything you choose to do. So you have a whole lot of freedom to think whatever thought that you want. But there is a category of thinking called stupid, and a category of thinking called smart. And it doesn't take long to recognize that stupid decisions hurt you. They make you the hired hand. They make you the servant. They make you the employed of someone smarter than you. So every day of your life, do you want to be the boss, or do you want to be the worker? Do you want to be the overseer, or do you want to be the hired hand? I'm suggesting to you that God has given you freedom to think. And the Bible is saying, think. You can be stupid. You can choose stupid. Or you can choose wise. Now, it takes some discovery about what is stupid and some discovery about what is wise, but sooner or later, stupid is stupid. It's foolish. It's dumb. And it doesn't take long to recognize that if you keep doing the stupid thing, you will end up self-destructing. You will end up making your life more difficult, and as some people say, you'll end up with very little but discouragement and bitterness and anger. And then your thoughts will start moving toward revenge. The Bible is saying, be an individual that is wise. The Bible is saying smart, not stupid. Don't be stupid. Don't be foolish. God has given you the freedom to think. God has given you the freedom to study, to be smart, to be wise. Stupid serves the wise. You want to be the boss. You want to be the overseer. Not by fear, or not by bullying people, not by shaming people, but you want to be the type of person that uses their brain, their intelligence. Practical observations. God's given you the freedom to think. And you can think stupid, or you can think wise or smart. There's a difference, and your life is far better being smart, being wise, than being dumb or being stupid or being the fool. I'm encouraging you in this walk and talk 281, it's October 16th, that you can end up serving, being the servant. You can end up being the worker or the employed. Why not end up being the boss, the overseer, the employer? Why not live your life making choices that make you wise, not foolish, not stupid? Here's a practical couple of suggestions. God's given you the freedom to think. So start thinking. Here's the first way to be smart. Just simply compare. Just logically compare two things. Do you like being the boss? Do you like overseeing? Or do you like being the servant, the worker? So the boss has a lot more freedom. So compare how much less freedom when you're stupid, when you have to serve, when you have to do what the boss says. So just compare. Compare the roles. Compare, would you prefer to be the boss the rest of your life? Would you compare to be the employer? Would you prefer to be the worker? Just compare. Who makes more money, the worker or the boss? The employee or the employer? And generally speaking, the person who owns the company makes more money. The person who works for the company makes less money. Just compare. If you earn and make more money, you can get to enjoy more things. Just compare. So being smarter or being stupid, the way to think about this is just compare the outcomes, compare the results. Another simple observation. You want to lead, or do you want to submit? Leadership has the privilege of making decisions that lead an organization or lead other people or lead in some direction. But when you submit as a worker, when you submit, you don't have the leadership decisions. I'm encouraging you, you want to lead. Stupid doesn't lead. Stupid just does stupid. Stupid serves the wise. Now, yes, there are leaders that make stupid decisions. Yes, there are leaders that make decisions that hurt everybody. But if you're smart, you're going to make corrections. In other words, you're not going to keep doing those stupid decisions as a leader. You're going to make adjustments. So take a moment. Let me give you another suggestion. Proverbs chapter 11, verse 29 is saying, stupid serves the wise. So you want to become wise. You want to become smart. I know lots of people that have never gone to college. Lots of people that they don't have a high school diploma. I've got friends and family members and relatives that did not graduate from high school, never went to college, and their intelligence, I would never say that they're stupid. They've learned to be smart and successful. They've been able to build their own companies and make decisions to benefit other people. Make sure that you recognize that you don't have to go to college. You don't have to be smart academically, but you don't want to be stupid. Stupid is doing the opposite of smart. God gave you a brain. He gave you freedom. He gave you the ability to compare. He gave you the ability to make choices. So learn. Practical suggestion. Ask questions. One of the greatest ways to learn and grow is just to keep asking questions. And when you ask a question, be smart. Listen for the answer. And maybe you ask the same question to a couple of different individuals, and you're seeking wisdom. In this walk and talk, I'm encouraging you to be wise. I'm encouraging you, don't be stupid. Compare. Do you want to stay in the same situation you're in right now? Or do you want to lead yourself and make decisions that benefit you, not hurt you? Stupid hurts. Making smart decisions are helpful. So think about comparing, and then think about outcome. Where do you want to be in 3 months, in 2 months? Where do you want to be a year from now? Consider outcomes. Consider the long view, not the short view. Stupid is about the short view. In other words, stupid is just thinking about today, right now. But a smart person, a wise person, is thinking about 2 weeks from now, is thinking about a month from now, is thinking about a year from now. I had a conversation with a relative just last night talking about the difference. And I said to the relative, when I was 21 or 22, I was not thinking about managing money wisely. I was thinking about being stupid with money when I was 21, 22. And I said to the individual, I know family members that are a lot smarter than me when I was 21 and they're 21, just simply by managing money better. So stupid just spends everything. Smart learns to manage money. And one of the best management principles is give God 10%, save 10%, and live on 80%. Just as a guideline, not a hard, fast rule, but maybe you give God 5% and you save 15% and you live on 80%. But lots of stupid people, foolish people, spend everything. I'm encouraging you in this walk and talk. Proverbs 11:29 says that stupid people serve wise people. You want to be wise. You want to be smart. Think about your future. Think about the outcomes. Think about where will life be for you in 3 months, in 6 months, a year from now. And start thinking smart. You say, Roger, how do you do that? Well, ask questions. Just simply ask questions. If you don't know how to do something, go Google and how do I cut the grass? How do I put gas in the car? How do I open a checking account? How do I open an investment account? How do I save money? And you'll get videos after videos of people that are probably smarter than you, and probably some people that are dumber. But ask questions. Start learning. You realize that your life is just going to continue. If God waits for the rapture, if Jesus comes back a year from now, you've got another year. Be smart, not stupid. Think about in 6 months. Do you want to have your bills paid off? Do you want to know the Bible better? Do you want to be known as a liar, as a cheater? Or do you want to be known as a man or a woman of integrity? Let me give you one more practical suggestion. Stupid ignores truth and makes up a lie. Stupid is about living a lie. Smart goes by the truth. You've heard the phrase, the truth will set you free. Stupid makes you a servant of the smart. So truth makes you free. If you don't live by the truth, then you live a lie. You're in bondage. And if you're the type that ignores God's boundaries, if you're the type that ignores what God says, you're discovering real quick, life is painful. God creates boundaries. They're not imaginary. They are real. When you ignore the boundaries of God, like, Roger, don't steal. Roger, don't be jealous. Don't covet. Roger, don't lie, don't bear false witness. Roger, honor God. When you lie and don't do those things, you begin to find out that life is painful. I'm encouraging you in this walk and talk. God has boundaries. Make sure that you're smart enough to recognize you're not God. You don't create the rules. The Bible is the rule book. And you can't ignore the boundaries that God creates. And every day, what does God say about this? What does the Bible say about that? That's smart. Stupid is, I don't care what God says. I only care what I feel like. I only care what I imagine. I don't have any boundaries. I can do whatever I want. The individual that goes down the path where there's no God, no boundaries, there's no structure, that's foolish. That's stupid. And you will end up submitting to people smarter than you. And real quick, people will manipulate you. People will cheat you by scamming you. They will fraud you. People will lie to you and want you not to agree with God, not to agree with the Bible, and they'll manipulate you. Smart people might get manipulated once, but they're not going to get manipulated twice. Stupid people repeatedly get manipulated, lied to. Smart people recognize there are boundaries, there are absolutes. There's right and wrong, not based upon how someone feels, but based upon what the Bible says, what God says. What are the rules that God has created? I'm encouraging you to check out Proverbs 11:29, and you'll see very clearly that stupid, the person who's a fool, who's foolish, serves the person who's smart, the person who's wise. You want to be wise because you obey God. Wise because you're learning more and more about God. This is Walk and Talk 281. It's October the 16th. It's just a beautiful morning, 58 degrees. You're invited. Join us for worship this coming Sunday at 9:30 and 11 at First Baptist Church, Tempe, Arizona. It's just a beautiful morning for you to be obeying the Bible, getting smarter, not disobeying God and getting dumber. You can check out our church on the web, fbc-tempe.org. You can contact the church office at 480-839-0926 and ask for a staff member. Hope to see you in worship this Sunday at 9. Let me make a correction. Not 9:30 this coming Sunday, but at 10 o'clock. There's one service this coming Sunday at 10 o'clock. We have lots of small group Bible classes on Sunday morning and throughout the week. Every day is a day to be smarter, to obey God, to recognize that God gave you a brain and He wants you to use your freedom to be smarter, not dumber. You don't want to be stupid who serves the wise. You want to be the wise. You want to be smart. And you want to make sure that you're constantly following God, learning and growing based upon the boundaries that God has given. It's a beautiful morning. Hope your day is filled with truth, not lies. And you're not compromising God's truth. And you're getting smarter and wiser. And you're discovering life is better when you follow God, when you follow what the Bible says. It's a beautiful morning. Have a great one.